Today on the channel, we finish up Jack's Classic Superstars Series 20 with 3 Hall of Famers in Ron Simmons, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and Tony Atlas.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Jack's Classic Superstars Series 20 unboxing and review. And today, from Series 20, we've got Ric Flair, we've got Ron Simmons, and somebody grab my phone as we've got Tony Atlas. But remember, for all your modern day wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. And of course, this review, we're going to do like all the other reviews on the channel, kind of. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. But I do have 2 of these already in my loose collection, so we won't have to unbox them. But one of these guys will get the fate of the unbox, and I guess you'll have to wait and see which one. But let's kick it off with one of my all-time favorites on my personal Mount Rushmore. Of course, Ric Flair, the old Nature Boy, an all-timer, of course, as of filming, just recently had his last match ever, so we'll see if we could be watching this a year from now and say, oh, it wasn't quite his last match, but who knows. But there's old Ric Flair, got the big gold belt with him, of course, and a beautiful green robe. This is one of my favorite Ric Flair figures of all time because we get a lot of Ric Flairs in pink robes, red robes, the black robe, of course. But the green robe, something that wasn't touched on, I believe, only this time. So I really like it. It does feel special that way. Very, very cool here. And then, of course, you got Ric Flair on the side, looking only like he could look, as one might say. Ric Flair might have said that. Then you got the Nature Boy Ric Flair on the side, of course. And then on the back, very interesting, we got the tail of the tape, we got the blurb, we got the glamour shot, we got the UPCs, we got the warning, we got the cross-sell. We're unboxing all these on the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel every single Tuesday, a Jack's Classic Superstar video for about 3 years now, we'll just call it. So very, very fun Tuesday staple here on the channel. On the back here, it says, Ric Flair, WWE Hall of Famer. That's interesting. We didn't get that on a lot of these. This might be the only one. Weight, 243 pounds, 6'1". Finishing move, of course, the figure 4 leg lock. Titles, WWE Champion, WCW Champion, United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, and World Tag Team Champion. So let's give it up for the old Ric Flair. WWE Hall of Famer. It says that on the side here as well. I guess I forgot that. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to take note of. But, of course, I have this Ric Flair loose in my collection, and we'll break it down a little bit. Of course, he does come with the big gold belt. Always love this one. Probably the best Jack's Plain Jane belt they ever made. It just works in this environment where some of the other ones don't work as well. This one definitely does. Absolutely love that title belt. Speaking of things I love, this Ric Flair figure. Like I said, the green robe with the yellow Oakland A's colors. Sign me up all day long. But it just looks fabulous. And I love Jack's Class Superstars. We got all the different color robes. We got the red, got the green, you got the pink, black we're going to grandfather in. Just very, very cool. Love this one. It's got the Velcro keeping it in place. And then you got the twist tie here, also keeping it in place. So just really, really cool aspect of this one here. Looks great. Of course, the head is reused. That's, I don't know if I want to say unfortunate. We did get this head sculpt used a lot, but man, it works all day long. And I love how he's just mid-woo. It's just an awesome, awesome one. Of course, this is the green and yellow Ric Flair, the Oakland A's color. Of course, when he's doing that West Coast tour, you got the yellow boots with the Ric Flair on the side. You get the green trunks going on. We got Ric Flair on the back of the robe, the sequins throughout. Just an all-around fabulous, fabulous Ric Flair figure. Just one of the best Ric Flair figures of all time. I'm saying it right here. Of course, we did do a Ric Flair top 10 on the channel. Check out that video if you never did see it. But absolutely phenomenal. A must-have in any Classic Superstars collection is this Ric Flair. Now we turn our attention to one that I don't know if I could say the same thing about. Like I said, somebody called me on my phone. We got Tony Atlas here. Of course, one of 2 Tony Atlas figures we got in the Classic lineup, as we did get a 2-pack with Rocky Johnson, of course. But very, very plain Jane, and even more plain Jane with 0 accessories with him. One of the all-time plainest figures, not the most popular figure either, and it seems to be this figure and his 2-pack the exact same figure. So make note of that. It's the same figure twice, which we saw, unfortunately, before. We saw it in Series 20 here with The Rock. Series 19 Rock, exact same figure, just a different title belt. But we do got Tony Atlas right there. Tony Atlas on the side. Tony Atlas on the side. And then, of course, the back, you got UPCs, you got warnings, you got the cross-sell, you got the glamour shot, and then we got the tail of the tape, and we got the blurb. Let's see what it says about old Tony Atlas here. Tony Atlas, weight 261 pounds, 6'2", finishing move, the press slam. Titles, World Tag Team Champion. I believe him and Rocky Johnson, the first ever African-American tag team champions of all time, so good for them. And there's Tony Atlas. I do have him loose in my collection. A lot of these guys that were never made by Mattel, I have loose to kind of smoke and mirrors with my Elite. So that's where I have Tony Atlas. I could see Tony Atlas if the collector's editions were still a thing. Getting him, hopefully, in the lineup, that would have been a good one. Would have been a great Walmart exclusive. Made in smaller numbers because it's not going to sell as high as a Rock or a Hulk Hogan, of course. But it would have been good to have in the Elite lineup somewhere along the way. My first encounter, probably a lot of you guys are the same age as me, first encounter with Tony Atlas was as Saba Simba, and I didn't hate that gimmick at the time. I was like 8 or 9 years old. It was what it was. I know a lot of people in hindsight think it's kind of racist and things like that, but I thought it was okay for what it was when I was a kid. I mean, I never expected Saba Simba to run over the Ultimate Warrior and take the world title or anything, but he was a guy. He was around. He had a name. It was something, I thought. But Tony Atlas here, let's break down his articulation. Since he's so plain Jane, we'll do the articulation spot with him instead of Ron Simmons and Ric Flair. We'll do it with Tony Atlas. Head side to side, arms all the way around, bicep cut, single jointed elbows, hands back and forth, side to side, whatever you need to do. Of course, there is a waist cut. You do get articulation here. I can do a little bit of a split, only forward, single jointed knees, ankles back and forth, and that's all you're getting out of Tony Atlas. You're not getting any more out of him. That's all you're going to get. But it is Tony Atlas. Of course, Tony Atlas bald over the last probably 20 years. So I think in modern times, most people think him with a shaved head. But of course, he had this short hairdo back then. Besides that, he's got his red plain trunks on, very plain Jane, and then plain white boots with black shoelaces. Not a lot going on for Tony Atlas here. It would have been cool to get a nice accessory or something. We talked about him being a tag team champion. A tag team title belt wouldn't have killed anybody to have with him, I don't think. Dynamite Kid, of course, got a tag team title belt in this lineup. Why not take that tag title, put it with him? Dynamite was the first time in the line he was going to sell it. Give Tony Atlas a little bit more firepower. But it wasn't in the cards for whatever reason. But there he is, Tony Atlas, joining us in Classic Superstar Series 20. So now we turn our attention to Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons, an absolute beast during this time frame. We did get a Mattel Elite, I believe it was Hall of Champions line. I believe that's what it was, where they made a figure very similar to this from Mattel. But before that, this was his earliest representation in figure form. And this is when I came into Ron Simmons era. I guess, of course, Doom. I would love to see Elites from Doom one day. But as a little kid, when he beat Vader for this title belt, this very one, it was a small belt back then. When he beat Vader, man, Kyle jumped off his couch. I could not believe it. I was all aboard the Ron Simmons train as a little Kyle. I was all aboard. And it's interesting how his career kind of ebbed and flowed. He left wrestling for a little bit, came to the WWF, Farouk Assad, which is another Elite we are getting from Mattel, and then he moved into the Nation of Domination, into the APA, into the WWE Hall of Fame, of course. So quite the career for Ron Simmons. I don't think anybody would say he had a bad career by any means, but just a history maker, beating Vader back in the day for the first black African-American world champion. So we got a little bit of a black history here at the table today, as we got Tony Atlas, the first tag team champion, and the first world champion in Ron Simmons. So kind of cool. Didn't plan that, but there it is. But there's old Ron. He's got the big gold belt, similar to Ric Flair's, the exact same title belt, of course. Ron Simmons on the side, looking only like he can look. And Ron Simmons on the other side. I hate to unbox this one, but I can't find a loose one. The loose price is about the same as the mint on card price, so I'm just going to have to open this up for science. It hurts my heart. UPC's warnings, cross-sell, blurb, tail of the tape, and glamour shot. It's all there for us. Let's see what it says about Ron Simmons here. Weight 270 pounds. Height 6'2". Finishing move, the Dominator. Titles, WCW Champion and World Tag Team Champion. Like I said, his tag team with Butch Reed and Doom I absolutely loved as a kid. I would love to get some Doom figures one of these days. That WCW Tag Team title era with the Steiners, Doom, the Road Warriors, Sting and Luger every once in a while, the Freebirds. There was a lot of great teams. Midnight Express. It was one of the best times ever for tag team wrestling, if you ask me. The Horsemen were involved, all that. But let's get Ron out of the package. Oh, it hurts. It hurts taking old Ron out, but we got to do it. Oh, rookie, see you later. Let's get him out. Let's get old Ron out of the package. There he goes. Just like that. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic prison for Ron Simmons. There it is. Looking good. Looking good. I like what I see so far. Pop that bad boy. Pop that out. And we're off to the races. See you later. And then, like I said, we get the big gold title belt, just like we saw with Ric Flair. No difference there. Used it a lot, and it is warranted. A lot of these guys carried that belt. It makes sense for them to get that belt. Now we get Ron out of the package. Not jacked enough is what I'm going to say. He should have been a little bit bigger for the time. But, man, he does look good. It definitely looks like Ron Simmons in the head sculpt department to me. All day long, I know this is Ron Simmons, down to the hair, everything else. Just a good representation. A lot of good head sculpts from Jax back in the day. We walked through articulation with Tony Atlas, so we know what we're getting there. He doesn't have a fisted hand. Ron's got to have a big fist, and of course, big power wrestler. I remember him slamming Vader. It was quite the scene back in the day. Very 90s inspired gear. This is a very 90s pink, black, and blue colors here. So it really does fit the era that he was the champion in. You got RS on the boots. I wonder what that stands for. Oh, probably Ron Simmons. There you go. But we do got that. But besides that, it just kind of is what it is. I would have liked to see it a little bit bigger in the torso department. I always thought he was a little bit bigger than this. But all day long, if I see this, I'm going to know this is Ron Simmons. As a guy that grew up in the Ron Simmons World Championship reign, I know who this is, and I really do like this one. I like the Mattel one all these years later. A lot of good Ron Simmons figures. Just get us a Doom. We need Doom. That would have been a perfect Classic Superstars 2-pack. And speaking of it, we never got Butch Reed in Classic Superstars, so that's unfortunate as well. He should have been in Classic Superstars Series 20. That's what they should have done instead of The Rock. And who knows? Maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff. Maybe something fell through and it was easy to slip Rock in. Not exactly sure. But very interesting lineup here. But 3 champions, 3 Hall of Famers, 3 heavy hitters right here in Tony Atlas, Ron Simmons, and Ric Flair. But what are your thoughts on these 3? All in, all out, didn't know about them, or you knew all about them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and anything you can think about Classic Superstars. And don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You made it this far. You might as well get that done. Hit the old notification bell as we got brand new Jax Class Superstar videos every single Tuesday here on the channel. You don't want to miss one of those. And then if you're a Patreon member, you're months upon months ahead of traditional YouTube. So if you want to get a part of the Patreon, link in the description below. Like I said, early access to videos, bonus content, exclusive content, and monthly giveaways over there on YouTube. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And then don't forget, social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Ric Flair, Ron Simmons, and Tony Atlas, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.